The World Series is set. We have Mallards and Gators. This week we're going to talk to Tom, get his strategy and thoughts on the matchup. We're going to start the episode off with a quick update from Pat on his surgery, so you guys will hear from him soon. We also have a few call-ins from some fans to get their predictions. Then we're just going to wrap up our thoughts on the matchup, and that's all we have for you guys. This is Pipe It Up Podcast. Cue the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pipe It Up Podcast, the official podcast of MLW Wiffle Ball. We got a lot to talk about today, but first, we got some updates on Patrick Ballman and his health status. Patrick, welcome to the show. I know you're usually the one editing this. Good to see you again. Good to see your face. Pat, I got to ask, obviously you just had that surgery, and you were playing on that injury for most of the year, and just give us an update on how things are going.
Yeah, so I actually just got surgery on Friday. I didn't expect it to be as bad as it is in terms of just like it. I can't move at all, so I've just been cooped up in my family living room, as you could probably tell by the background. Yeah, no, I'm excited just to start like that road to recovery because I know it's going to be a long one. But yeah, it's nice to start that road, but definitely really swollen, like 3 times the size of what it normally is right now. So definitely different.
Yeah, well, hoping for a speedy recovery for you, Pat. But I got to ask the question. You played on this last year. Obviously, you had the brace on. Next year, or first what I got to say is you played on this and had a very, very well-rounded season, put up some good numbers. How is next year without the brace and without the injury? How are you going to just keep on improving?
Yeah, no, it'll definitely be super nice to play on 2 good knees, and just being able to hit it again because I love hitting. And I wasn't able to do that last year at the end of the year on MLW because I couldn't run at all. So just being able to run again and being able to push off the mound. I know it's not too big of a deal in MLW, just because you got the speed limit, so you're not really throwing as hard as you can. But other leagues as well, just being able to push off my back leg and really give some more velocity on it. It's going to be nice for all the leagues I play in, but for MLW, just getting back to hitting and hoping the Cats definitely get some much-needed revenge for next year.
Well, Pat, good to hear from you. Glad you're doing okay. What's like the pain level right now on a scale of 1 to 10, and when do we think like that'll improve? And what's your timeline to start like walking again, getting into physical activity again? Like when does the grind really begin in terms of playing some whiffs again? Do we expect to be healthy by opening day?
Yeah, so right now in the process, so we're 3 days out of surgery. So right now it's just kind of pain reduction, just icing, medicines. So I'm on a lot of medicine right now, so that definitely helps in terms of pain. But yeah, so then it's getting the swelling down, which I started physical therapy today, so that helped a little bit, trying to get some range of motion back. But because it was also a torn meniscus, I'll be in a straight-legged, like locked brace for at least 6 weeks. But they said I probably won't get back into physical activity for like 4 or 5, 6 months. Probably. So I would say by the time MLW season starts, I'll probably be at the tail end of the recovery process. So hopefully I'll be back for opening day next year.
Sounds good, Pat. Thanks for coming on and giving us an update, and we're all wishing you a smooth and speedy recovery.
Appreciate it, fellas. Good luck with the rest of the episode.
All right, guys. Thank you again for PB for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed having an update from that. Now we're going to move on to just a recap of our World Series predictions. I know we said it last week in the episode, but World Series, coming up close, so we're just going to go over our predictions again. I'm going to start us off. I believe I had Mallards in 5 games. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. All right, so I have Mallards in 5 games. I'm sticking with that prediction. And yeah, Levi, what do you got?
Like I said last week, I think the Mallards are going to go up in the series 2-0, and then the Gators are going to get red hot. I still got that Gators in 5, and I think that Dustin Staggs will be the X factor.
It's a fair pick, man. Those Gators, they're always chomping. Can't count them out.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, what's your prediction looking like?
I feel like someone I don't even remember what I said or if I gave a full like playoff prediction bracket thing like when we did the playoff preview. I want to say I did, and I can't remember if I picked this World Series right or not. But regardless, whatever I said, someone's going to come on here and correct me and say that I said something else. But right now, I'm going strictly within the moment here right now. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go against this. This is like the default, for those of you who followed along with our hot dog challenge, me just, dying on the hill of picking the Magic. That obviously didn't really help my case in the challenge much this year. So now I'm just extending that through the podcast. And I just can't, I'm not going to pick against the Mallards. So I do think it's going to be a very competitive series. I don't know if it's going to go 5. I'm going to say Mallards in 4. I think it'll be, is that what they call a gentleman's sweep in these type of series? I think the Gators will get 1, but I do think the Mallards will take care of business. I think that, I don't want to bet against Jordan in this situation. I feel like that guy is just going to come in so locked in, so focused. He's been wanting this moment like ever since he joined MLW. I have a real hard time seeing him be denied. So I think he'll kind of carve up the Gators a little bit. They'll probably be able to win one game, but then I think he'll probably shut the door and the Mallards will take care of business and walk away with some hardware.
It's a good choice. Hard to count out Robles, especially for his first World Series. I know he's going to probably come out hot. So, yeah, it's going to be a great series for Mallards.
He's quacked at wiffle ball.
All right.
Oh, gosh. That was one of the worst puns I've ever heard in my life.
That was bad. Plus, let's not forget.
How long has that been brewing in Levi's dialogue?
That one just ready.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to say was let's not forget, the veteran Tom here is coming off a 5-for-5 series win, right? Like this guy talk about X factors in the lineup. If we get another performance like that out of Tom through this series, not putting a lot of not putting the pressure on you, Tom, but that is a different Mallards lineup when you've got that contact hitting happening. So just want to throw that back out there. Like let's not forget here. Tom's got a big role in this series.
It's for Kev Dog. It's all for Kev Dog. Oh, I'm feeling the pressure. I got a question for Levi. Considering we've been playing 5-game World Series for I think 16 seasons now, 15 seasons now. What makes you predict a blown 2-0 lead for the Mallards, considering it's only happened twice ever? Is there a reasoning behind it, or are you just picking that off vibes?
I do got a reason behind it. I think that in a sense, seniority of the Mallards, they're going to come into the series and be a lot more prepared than the Gators. But I do think that when the Gators get red hot, it's going to be hard for the Mallards to stop them. I think they're going to get in a comfortable position, and you guys are going to think you have it in the books, and then all of a sudden, I think the Gators are going to make their comeback.
I don't know that I would be able to ever look Drew Davis in the eye again if my team were to blow a 2-0 World Series lead. I think that might be the end of Drew and I's relationship as both friends and colleagues in MLW. It would be tough. It's been 8 years. It's been 8 years since that moment. And if we end up on the other side of it, I don't know what I would say or do. It would be awful, and I will not allow it to happen. Truthfully, if you want to hear how I'm feeling, I think last week, did I say Mallards in 5, Mallards in 4? I gave a prediction. I know I did prior to the series. I think there is, Levi, I think there's a little bit of validity to what you're saying. Not for the reasons that you said, but similar to what we saw the Preds do to us. I feel like, Robles, He beats guys with location and velocity. He's not a big movement guy. So if people can get their timing down, he becomes more hittable. And in the past, we've had series where I feel like we were in the driver's seat, and then all of a sudden, offenses just come to life, just like the Preds did in the previous series. So I think it will get more difficult for us if the series goes longer, if that makes sense. But I'm really hoping that our offense makes the true difference this year. We saw in the NLCS, we just scored a ton of runs. I've faced Sawyer a lot. Robles has faced Sawyer a lot. We're not a stranger to his arsenal. Dustin's a little bit more of a wild card in terms of what we're seeing, but I know they're going to punch back at some point. I feel like we're going to get off to a hotter start, and I just hope that we can outlast them, if that makes sense, and get around to Sawyer offensively, because I do expect the Gators to start to score more as the series goes on. I feel comfortable saying that, and maybe Robles would disagree. I don't know, but I just expect their bats to come to life more throughout the series, and that's when I might need to turn to guys like Jorgensen or Coleman in some big spots. So, if you want, I can share my pitching strategy a little bit. We didn't hear much from Chris in terms of what he'd want to do, but I do have a rough plan for the Mallards. Or should we keep that a secret for the fans to actually experience in real time?
I think we spilled the beans
yeah,
here, Tom.
might as well. I mean, we're listening to the podcast for a reason,
All right. Series has already happened also, so I don't want to spoil anything, but at the same time, this was my strategy regardless. Robles is the guy. I mean, it's no secret. I think my number 2 and number 3 arms, I do have Georgie as my number 2, Colm as my number 3 at this point. Robles is the guy. There's no one else who really compares to him, but because of what I just said, the thought of throwing him 3, 4, potentially even 5 games in a row is a little scary. So what I told my guys pregame and pre-series, we had a FaceTime call, was Robles, you're obviously starting game 1. No surprise there. If they start to hit you in game 1, I'm going to quickly move away from you because they're just going to get more and more confident the more they see you. So if they're getting around to you in game 1, we're going to go to Georgie. If you win game 1, but they start to hit the ball a little more, say in the 3rd inning, we're going to go to Georgie. Game 2, just to switch looks. You're a better guy. I want you out there with a series on the line, but I'm not going to have them see you for 5 games in a row. If you go out there game 1 and we're rolling, you're going to start game 2. If you steamroll them game 2, you're going to start game 3. If they're not seeing Robles, I'm going to stick with Robles. But as soon as I start to sense the offensive momentum of the Gators shifting, I'm going to go to Georgie. If they get to Georgie, then I'll go to Colm. But the hope is that we can ride out Georgie long enough, maybe a game and a half, 2 games, and then go back to Robles, if needed. So that's kind of my plan, is to leave the guys out there as long as I can leave them. If Georgie goes out there and is shutting them down, I'm not going to put Robles in just to put him in. I'm going to let Georgie keep going until I see their at-bats start to change. So that's kind of my plan to manage the bullpen. Colm is more of an emergency guy. We're getting blown out in a game. I don't want him to see either of my better arms. Let's get Colm in there. So that's sort of the plan.
It's a solid strategy. I feel like it's sounding like a Mallards ring to me. Mallards in 5 games written to me.
But what would be tough, and this could happen, again, if I put Robles in and he throws, 3, 4 games in a row really good, and all of a sudden they start to hit him, putting Georgie in a game 5 would be tough, but it's something that we discuss as a team and still think it might be the better option. Everyone's on board with it.
I think it's a very sound strategy from you, Tom. I do just have to comment at the fact that you're considering Jorgensen as you're very confidently saying, yeah, I would throw him out there in game 2 of the World Series, and he literally didn't even pitch for you until the last series of the regular season. In fact, I think some people forgot that he might have pitched ever in this league, because he, prior to that, he was kind of struggling a bit on the mound. When he first came in and started his career, he was very good, and went through kind of a rough patch on the mound. Was never even really considered a pitcher on the Mallards until playing the Magic. And now for you to confidently say yeah, if it plays out a certain way in game 1, we're going to go to him in game 2. I think that's pretty remarkable. I think that's pretty high praise for Georgie, and it's cool that he just hasn't given up on like when his number was called, he produced and earned that opportunity. So I'm kind of hoping, biasly, I guess, that we get to see. I'm hoping, I guess, I don't just see Jordan go out there and carve the Gators up for 3 straight games. I kind of want to see a little bit of a different look Mallards, just from a viewer, trying to be as objective, non-biased as possible. I feel like that would make for some pretty exciting content, seeing some other guys contribute to to a potential World Series effort. So I do just think that's so funny though, that it's he wasn't even an option not that long ago, and now he's number 2 in the bullpen.
Yeah, again, we talked about it. I'm not saying I think we have an elite bullpen. I think that's our biggest weakness as a squad. There's Robles and there's a big fall off, but I just don't love the idea of Robles pitching to these guys for a full 5-game series. Just with how previous postseasons have gone, even regular season series, it seems like eventually teams can get around to him.
Yeah.
And in the past, I've pivoted to Colm, and it hasn't worked out. I don't think Preston has the same confidence that Georgie does. And Georgie and I have been practicing, so I've been seeing Georgie pitch a lot, and he's a strike thrower. He's going to make guys earn it. And I think he's it's just a play. It's the World Series, man. It's a different game. A 5-game series is different than a 3-game series. And I have a lot of confidence riding Robles in a 3-game series if it was winner take all. But a 5-game series, that's just a lot of pitches, a lot of at-bats for the same guys, seeing, a guy who doesn't have the most diverse arsenal. Truly, Robles beats you with speed and location. He's not a big movement guy.
What are you expecting from the Gators? I guess conversely, obviously you played the series, but going into it, what were you expecting pitching wise that they were going to do as you guys were kind of scouting them?
So I believe that the Gators are going to use still Sawyer as their ace, but Dustin, I think, will come in quickly if Sawyer gets into trouble. I think it'll be those 2 guys. So I bet you they're probably thinking a similar strategy that we are. As soon as we get around to Sawyer, go to Dustin and then ride Dustin as long as you can. So we'll see. But I think Sawyer will go game 1. It wouldn't blow me away if Dustin went game 1. We kind of were preparing to study both equally, but I haven't heard any indications that it will be Dustin in game 1, even though he's looked really good this year.
Yeah, again, that just surprises me, because it's I feel like Jeremy Adams is just forgotten about. Dustin had I don't even know 1 or 2 games that he pitched solid on the mound, and then it's you may be right. I could definitely see them doing exactly what you just said. But it's not like Jeremy's, a slouch on the mound by any means.
Yeah. Maybe they will go to Jeremy. I don't know. I would just expect Dustin first. Maybe they're thinking 3 pitchers. I really don't know. It seems like they're always a game 1 ace team, game 2 secondary, game 3 ace team. Maybe they throw both Dustin and Jeremy out there for a game or an alternating starts. I don't really fully know. That'd be a question for Cheetam, but obviously I didn't have that insight heading into the series. Jeremy's had a little bit of control issues in the past. That's why I think Dustin's is more of a strike thrower. In a series like this, you want guys that are throwing strikes.
Agreed. Tom, one last question for you here. I feel like the series you guys played in New York is going to have kind of more of a the fan-like feel that LA will have compared to when the Gators played, but in Chicago. How will the playing in front of fans for the second time this year make it kind of more easy for you, or hard or difficult, coming into the series?
I don't think it'll have too much of an effect on us. We don't have any rookies in this lineup. Preston's our youngest guy, and I believe this is his third season, so I think it'll bode well for us. And I don't know if it'll be too big of a factor on the Gators either. Even though Dustin's a rookie, he seemed to do very well in Chicago with the fans in front of him. So I think it'll just add to the hype. It might add some more like nerves and tense moments when people are yelling and screaming at you, and balls in play or big at bats, things like that. But I don't think it will have a huge impact on like the mentality or nerves of anybody. I mean, the stakes are already high as it is, whether it's in front of fans or in front of nobody. We all just want to win.
Well, Tom, thanks for sharing some of your thoughts about the World Series. We're all glad to hear and all rooting for you this weekend. But now we have something special for you guys. We got some fan call-ins to talk about World Series predictions. So here you go with that.
Okay, thank you, Ty. I'm going to take over here because I'm the one man in the Zoom call from home base. Thank you to all the fans who answered the call on Instagram the day of, talking about providing some World Series predictions. We have 3 fans who are joining us tonight to give their take on the World Series. First, we have AJ, big fan. He was present in the hot dog live stream, I believe. Is that correct, AJ?
Yeah, I was there with a lot of my Polar Penguins teammates. Shout out Polar Penguins.
Oh, yeah, I was chatting with the Penguins at the series over the weekend.
Yeah, doing a lot of donations. Tom, we wanted to make sure you were fully part of that. We're guilty, but you know what? It was a fun stream for sure.
Well, I'm guilty of giving you guys the chance to do so, but thanks for joining us, AJ. Mallards, Gators. Who do you got? Let's start there. Who do you got, and then how many games?
This might be one of the most this is the most excited I've been for a World Series, I'd say since 2021. This is going to be really close between both sides. It's going to 5 games. I'm going Gators in 5.
Going Gators in 5.
AJ, who do you got as your X factor for both teams? I know there's a lot of studs in this matchup, but I want to get your thoughts on who's gonna kind of control the ships from these two teams.
Like I like to go beyond, the pitchers in this series. So I won't say, Sawyer Bean or Dustin Staggs or Jordan Robles, but I got to go with the hottest bats on both sides. So I will say Preston Combe for the Mallards, and then Mr. 7 for 9 in the other semifinal there, Jason Chadwick. Both those bats, they're huge right now going into the World Series. Those are going to be the biggest factors for both sides. Whoever's the hottest is going to come out on top.
I like it.
It was awesome to see Jay Chatty just pop off. I'm a Jay Chatty fan, obviously, and I like that. I like that pick from you, AJ. I feel like he's just like very consistent and could be if he keeps it going, man, he can turn the tide of a series really quick. So I like that pick.
Offense is for sure going to win these games, so those are great picks. But now, AJ, on the other side of the ball, what pitching matchups do you want to see?
We know Robles will take the ball for the Mallards. Jorgensen did look good as a secondary option, so I'm sure Tommy is going to use both arms in the series. And both Bean and Staggs are really good options for the Gators. I think to start, we'll probably see Robles versus Staggs, but as we've seen in years past, it's a 5-game series, and you are going to need at least 2 arms to really help your team, go the distance and win those 3 games.
I like it. Well, all right, AJ, we appreciate you sharing your predictions. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. It does mean a lot to us. So, who will you be rooting for in this series? Final question.
Listen, I am a big fan of seeing you, Tommy, as well as, the 2020 guys, like the older guys that have been in the league for years. I want to see them win it for sure. But being a Magic fan, I would love to see Chatty finally win his ring. So I hope the Gators do take it at the end of the day.
Very fair. Very fair. We appreciate it, AJ. Good luck to Jay Chatty and your squad you're riding with the Gators. And thanks again. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, AJ.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you to AJ. Up next, we have another big fan. I was on his Instagram live show at one point. It's Big Dan. Big Dan, you can unmute. Welcome to Pipe It Up.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
I'm going to start you off with the question that I finished for AJ. Who are you rooting for in this series?
Mallards. I think I'm on Robles to win one in Preston.
Like it, Big Dan. Big Dan, I'm going to throw you a little curveball here, kind of a weird question. But with the starting pitchers in this World Series, I want you to build a 3-pitch arsenal. Tell me what 3 pitches you'd like from any of the pitchers. It could be anybody, even on the bench. Give me 3 pitches you would choose to put in your arsenal.
The super drop. Robles is 2-seam, and Robles is finger ball.
I like it. I like
Man,
it.
can't really get much better than that, Dan.
I know.
No hesitation at all.
No,
No hesitation.
He was
on the
prepared for
super
that
drop.
one.
Did you get the script, Big Dan? Did you know that question was coming?
Not.
I'm just kidding.
All right, Dan, that was a good answer. But what we all want to hear, Dan, is what's your actual prediction? What are the games going to look up? And who's going to win?
This is easily going to be a 5-game series. Most excited I've been for an MLW World Series since 2020, 2021, those days. But give me the Gators in 5, just like what AJ said. So I think they have more pitching depth and they have about hitting depth. You're probably going to go Stags, Bean, Chadwick every game in the lineup. And then you're forced by either going to go Adams or Cheetam, depending on the game.
Who do you like out of those two guys? Would you go with Adams in game 1 or Cheetam?
Me, personally, I would probably go Cheetam game 1. Cheetam's been seeing it a lot better than Adams has this year.
Okay, fair. That's a tough decision, I think, for Cheetam himself, who's the manager of this squad. Because I like the bat of Adams. I've liked it in the past. I know he's been a little cold, but he's shown power. He's shown consistency, in my opinion. And Cheetam has been more of a flash-in-the-pan guy. So, I don't know. Cheetham's had a good year, but I'm curious to see how they manage that.
Yeah, me too.
For Geezer Nation, I would love to. For Geezer Nation and the content, I'd love to see a cheat code bomb. Would love to see one. Sorry, Tom, but I would.
It's okay.
All right, Dan, you got Gators in 5. Now, what are we looking at for the X factors from both teams?
So, for Mallards, I'm going Preston as my X factor. You know Jordan's going to pitch all 5 games if he goes to 5. If Preston's back gets hot, I could see him winning World Series. Gators, I'm going Stags. Stags is very funky on the mound, very interesting, very good hitter too at the plate. He gets on base consistently, hits bombs. I think those are the 2 X factors.
Solid answers. Yeah.
I like it. Well, Big Dan, are you going to be watching right at 4 o'clock when these videos drop?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, definitely drop your comments on the Pipe It Up channel and on the main channel. Let us know what you're thinking throughout the series, and let us know if your prediction changes at all throughout this series as well.
I'll text you guys.
All right, Big Dan, thank you so much for giving your predictions and takes. We'll be looking out for your messages throughout this series, and thank you for supporting Pipe It Up. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, last but not least, we have Tyler Knight joining us, who is rocking a Preds hat, I believe. Is that what I see on the
Preds
Zoom?
hat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's
Go
start
Preds.
there. Were you bummed to see the Preds fall short against the Gators in the semis?
Yeah, obviously. We had a pretty good year. Made a trade, which I was pretty excited about because most of the time you don't see the Preds doing that. But I know we're gonna go back out there next year. Yeah.
What did you think of Drew Davis and the addition for him and Esh to this lineup?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I hated the
Oh,
Cobras.
please do.
So when I heard we were getting Drew Davis, I definitely wasn't the most excited person. But but now that he's on our team, hit a bomb for us, jumping over fences. You can't not like the hustle from the kid. And then Kratch and Esh going back-to-back bombs, I think twice. You gotta love that as well. So hated them for a while, but now they're all on my side. It's a lot more easy to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it definitely brings the team to life more. Obviously, it was a tough loss to the Mallard squad. But Tyler, now want to get your opinions on who do you think is going to take this World Series down, and how many games will it take for the winning team to do so?
Personally, I'm cheering for the Gators. I got a good buddy that's a Gators fan, and I want to see him be excited about it. But man, you look at this Mallards team, and there's a lot to be excited about. I did some stat digging when I found out I was going to be on the pod.
We love a numbies guy.
So, I mean, Jordan is third in plate appearances. Like he's getting up to the dish a lot. That's a guy that sees a lot of pitches, and definitely a powerful bat. Two of the top 8 in hits are Mallards, Flood, and Robles. Are both have 10 hits. As a team, they're second in ERA, third in WHIP. They actually are first in saves, and the Gators are second, which is pretty interesting. They're third in strikeouts. They have the second most walks in the league. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot to like about this Mallards lineup. But then you go to the Gators lineup, like Bien's third in home runs. All these guys do is get on base. Like, let me read off these on base percentages for you. Jeremy Adams, 500. Sawyer Bien, 463. Chadwick, 370. Chris Cheetam, 646. Richard, I know he only had like 3 ABs, but 1,000. Dustin Saggs, 674. Like these guys, all they do is get on base. And if I'm Billy Bean from Moneyball, I'm pretty excited about this Gators team. Their pitching isn't like both Bean and Staggs. When you put them together, I'm still not sure if they're as dominant as Jordan Robles is. But I think the way that these guys get on base, I'm gonna take the Gators in 4.
Gators in 4.
Wow.
All Gators. I wonder.
Yeah, you're getting Tyler. No love, Tom.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I like being, the hungry dog runs faster, right, Jack?
That's right.
Tyler, I don't know, like, are you active in any of like the MLW Discord channels, or how much are your eyes on the comment section? Like, do you think more fans believe the Gators will win this series?
I'm not in the Discord.
Okay.
And to be honest, I really don't go in the comment section, but I love MLW, and like I got all my friends on it. Like I made a group chat with it and everything. They don't watch it as much as I do, but they all got a team. So I mean, I'm tuning in every Friday at 4:00, and just always tuned in.
That's sweet. We appreciate it. You guys got anything else for Tyler? Thanks for the support, dude.
One more. Well, you guys all are similar answers with who's winning, but let's see if you have similar X factors, because we asked everybody that. So Tyler, what are your X factors for the series?
I'm gonna go for the Gators. It really could be Staggs. Staggs is gonna play all 3 games. We know that. But if Cheetam gets in, I think the cheat code could be big time for this Gator squad. Fun stat about Chris Cheetam: he's tied first for sack flies in the league.
How did you pull that one?
That is a fun stat.
And then for the Mallard squad, I'm gonna go with Trey. I think we know what Robles is gonna do on the mound and at the plate. I think Jordy's gonna be solid, but I think if Trey if he exceeds what he's done every other series, I think the Mallards have it in the bag.
I agree. That 4 spot in our lineup, it's a key piece, because it seems like the other 3 guys are always contributing relatively consistently, and then Trey's had big moments this year. I had a good series out of nowhere last year, so we'll see how that 4 spot plays out. All right, Tyler. Well, we appreciate it. Appreciate your support. I don't know if I've ever seen like a message from you, or I know Big Dan and AJ I've seen a lot from, so nice to see a new face, and just appreciate again all the support, and good luck to your prediction and your buddy who's rooting for the Gators.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Man, Tom, we got everybody rooting against you. Unlike myself, I still got Mallards, but all of our fan calls got the Gators. Levi has the Gators. It's just not looking like the predictions are on your favor. But prove us wrong, prove them wrong. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
I feel like the MLW fan base, a lot of the MLW fans have grown up with us, and from the comments that I saw like on Instagram, I wasn't really super into the YouTube comments, but Instagram, I see the ones near the top usually, and both in the Mallards Pred series and in the Gators Eagles series, it seemed like everyone was like really happy that Chadwick did well, happy that Cheetam got in and got a hit, and then we're happy about my success too. I feel like people are just like if you are a unbiased slash aren't invested into one of these two teams in particular, I feel like everyone's just kind of rooting for the geezers in this one to have a moment. Whether it's Cheetam, Chatty, or myself, just getting the veterans, a key moment would be awesome. But like for me, even though he's like his numbers have been so good for so long that it's viewed differently, but like I as a fan would want to see Robles win just because this is his 4th season, I think, in the league. And we've always kind of had heartbreaking losses in the playoffs where we were right there. I think of 2022, we were a game away, a few feet away from, a home run or not. 2023, we take game 1, lose the next 2. 2024, I feel like we played whatever it was, 8 innings against the Eagles and then lost. Like we've had heartbreaking losses, and, Robles has been the arm for all of those. And, that wears on a guy. We saw how excited he was to make this series, and I feel like even though he's really talented compared to the other like veterans, this is his 4th season and he's never won. So I would be rooting for Jordan if I was watching, I think.
I feel like it's when you were talking, one thing that I think is unique is both teams are like almost evenly split in terms of like what I would describe as kind of old school, new school MLW. Like the Mallards have like you, Jorgensen, who I would put in old school. Robles is in old school just because he's on the older side of the league, but then you've also got guys like Trey and Preston, and then the Gators are the same, right? Like they have Chatty, they have Cheetam, part of that 2020 class. They've got Stags who and BN now who are kind of on the new school, I guess, in the way that I'm framing it. Adams too, probably. So it's kind of unique. It's kind of unique from that perspective, but I do feel like there's almost like a weird sense of people maybe rooting against the Mallards because they almost want to they want to keep seeing, like, I feel like when Jordan got drafted, it was like, oh my gosh, the Mallards are going to win the World Series. Like, Jordan is so good. Anybody who knew anything about like wiffle ball or the wiffle ball space, I think immediately thought the Mallards were like the number 1 contender. And you guys just haven't been able to put it together in the playoffs, but you've always had dominant regular seasons where it's like this team is poised, like they're going to do it, and you guys have always fallen short. And so I feel like people want to see that storyline like continue, like where this is the next step where you actually got all the way there, and it would be so heartbreaking for you guys to lose that in like a really weird like cynical way, I guess. I feel like people are kind of rooting for that.
No, that's fair. I mean, you see that. I think it's a similar sense to the Bills in the AFC. Like they're always winning their division, even winning their conference, and then you see them fall short. And I think to some people, it's like, gosh, can the Bills ever win the big one? Like, is Josh Allen ever going to do it? We would love to see him do it, but at the same time, the storyline is crazier every time that they fall short. So I can see that, Jack, where it's, again, I think this is Robles' 4th season. In 2022, we were the 1 seed. In 2023, we were the 1 seed. 2024, we were not. We lost in the NLDS, and then this year we got the bye. So I mean, we've had winning records near the top or at the top of MLW every time, and haven't even gotten to a World Series, let alone win one. And I think that is a storyline of itself. So that's a very fair point.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I'm really excited to watch this game on Friday. Make sure you guys listening are tuning in 4 p.m. on Friday for Game 1 of the World Series. I can't believe it's already here. Kind of just felt like opening day was, last week. It's already getting cold out. But
not cold in L.A.
Not cold in L.A. for sure. And I hope to see some of the...
not so fast. It was brisk out there.
It wasn't we looked at the weather. It was supposed to be 80 and sunny.
We did, but I'm telling you, once Game 3 got started, Mr. Schultz was hoodie and jacket. As soon as the sun goes down, it gets chilly.
Sure, it's better 20 degrees here we got outside right now.
Yes, coming back to Michigan yesterday was a slap in the face.
Yeah, no, I bet. Tom, did you have a good pregame outfit?
I did. I thought so. It wasn't like I went crazy. I didn't purchase anything for this event, to be totally honest. I wore what I would consider maybe like a smart casual outfit, not quite business casual, but wasn't like I wore a hoodie and sweats. I don't want to spoil it all, but I put together a little fit, threw on some sunglasses, and I thought it was a clean look. You know, I got to look somewhat professional being the manager and all. So, we had a couple, I don't want to spoil it all. I mean, I'm sure the Kyle will drop the pictures on Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even Friday morning. So I don't know why I feel a little like jittery for the videos to come out. Like I haven't played in a World Series in a long time. So, you know, I hope the fans are anticipating these releases just like I am. I'm excited for everyone to see, you know, the strategy that I put together, the strategy the Gators put together, how the lineups were managed to start the series, and then, you know, how the series concludes. So I'm excited. I'm anxious, just like everybody else is, I'm sure. And I'm grateful for everyone that came out, and just, you know, what an experience. Regardless of outcome, it's pretty cool to, you know, fly across the country and play against some of your buddies. So a lot of fun.
All right, well, that wraps up the World Series side of things. Now we're moving on to the comment of the week. Ty, you got this one. Found it on YouTube.
Found it on Spotify.
Oh, Spotify. Not YouTube.
And it's from our good friend Kev Dog.
Oh,
of course. It could be.
Kev Dog
and
is
it
the
is.
champ of comment of the week.
It is year. Kev Dog. All right, guys. Kev Dog comment on Spotify, and it reads, "This was my dream World Series. Mallards, Gators, Cheetam versus Tom. Battle of the Unks. Tom, my birthday present is on the line here. I can just taste the World Series pop-off. Even if you don't, you and Chris will always be my favorites in MLW. Go win one for the Unks like me. I'm 16. Kev Dog, I don't know if 16 is an Unk.
That is not Unk.
But, you know, you do you. I think Dustin Staggs has saved the Gator seasons, and I have him as the X Factor for the Gators, as well as Tommy as the X Factor for the Mallards."
How fitting to wrap up the episode with a comment from Kev Dog. Without spoiling anything, I will say this is a funny tidbit. Pre-game, I think it was pre-game, I was had finished warming up. I think I was helping Ryan out get some signage up just last second, and I was jogging back towards the dugout where my stuff was, trying to stay hydrated and loose and whatnot. Jogging back for a drink of water, and someone in the crowd was like, "Tom, for Kev Dog," and I was like, "For Kev Dog," and I pointed to them. It was pretty funny.
That's fantastic.
Someone gave him a shout out, and so Kev Dog, the fans are behind us as one, and thank you for commenting again, Kev Dog. We do appreciate it.
That's going to conclude everything for this week's episode. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget, this Friday at 4 p.m., it's time for the first game of the World Series. Grab your popcorn. It's going to be a fun watch. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Pipe it up.